Hello everyone, it is now time for chapters 5 and 6 of Dinosaurs Before Dark by Mary Pope Osborne. And remember at the end of chapter 4 is when Annie looked up at the top of the hill and she was telling Jack, she was like, go, go, because there was a huge dinosaur on top of the hill. And we were talking about what type of dinosaur that may be. What were your thoughts? What type of dinosaur did you think that was going to be? Whenever I heard her, whenever I was reading, it sounded like she was very concerned. So I'm thinking that maybe I don't know, a T-Rex? I'm not sure. Let's read to find out. Chapter 5, Gold in the Grass. Go, go, said Jack. He threw his notebook into his pack. He pushed Annie toward the rope ladder. Bye, Henry, she said. Go, said Jack. He gave Annie a big push. Because of the way that he's reacting, I'm thinking maybe it is a T-Rex. He's really pushing her. Quit it, she said, but she started up the ladder. Jack scrambled after her. They tumbled into the treehouse. They were panting as they looked out the window at the dinosaur. He was standing on the hilltop eating flowers off a tree. Oh, man, whispered Jack. We are in a long time ago. The dinosaur looked like a huge rhinoceros. Only he had 3 horns instead of 1. 2 long ones above his eyes and 1 on his nose. He had a big shield-like thing behind his head. Triceratops, said Jack. Does he eat people? Whispered Annie. I'll look it up. Jack grabbed the dinosaur book. He flipped through the pages. Do you guys think that Triceratops eat people? There, he said. He pointed to a picture of a Triceratops. He read the caption. The Triceratops lived in the late Cretaceous period. This plant-eating dinosaur weighed over 12,000 pounds. Whoa, that is really, really big. And now we know that Triceratops are plant-eating dinosaurs, so they're not going to hurt people. Jack slammed the book shut. Just plants, no meat. Let's go see him, said Annie. Again, this is evidence that she is one of those go-getters. She is very adventurous. Are you nuts? Said Jack. Don't you want to take notes about him? Asked Annie. We're probably the first people in the whole world to ever see a real live Triceratops. Jack sighed. She was right. Let's go, he said. So he seems a little bit timid here, yet he's still agreeing to go. He shoved the dinosaur book into his pack. He slung it over his shoulder and started down the ladder. On the way down, Jack stopped. He called up to Annie. Just promise you won't pet him. I promise. Promise you won't kiss him? I promise. Promise you won't talk to him? I promise. Promise you won't. Go, go, she said. Jack went. Annie followed. When they stepped off the ladder, the Pteranodon gave them a kind look. Annie blew a kiss at him. Be back soon, Henry, she said cheerfully. Shush, said Jack, and he led the way through the ferns, slowly and carefully. When he reached the bottom of the hill, he kneeled behind a fat bush. Annie knelt beside him and started to speak. Shush! Jack put his finger to his lips. Annie made a face. I can see this part in my head happening. It kind of reminds me of when my kids are annoying each other. They kind of seem kind of annoyed with each other right here, but they need each other still. Jack peeked out at the Triceratops. The dinosaur was incredibly big, bigger than a truck. He was eating the flowers off a magnolia tree. Jack slipped his notebook out of his pack. He wrote, "Eats flowers." Annie nudged him. Jack ignored her. He studied the Triceratops again. He wrote, "Eat slowly." Annie nudged him harder. Why do you think she's nudging him? Jack looked at her. Annie pointed to herself. She walked her fingers through the air. She pointed to the dinosaur. She smiled. Was she teasing? She waved at Jack. Jack started to grab her. She laughed and jumped away. She fell into the grass, in full view of the Triceratops. "Get back," whispered Jack. Too late. The big dinosaur had spotted Annie. He gazed down at her from the hilltop. Half of a magnolia flower was sticking out of his mouth. "Oops," said Annie. "Get back!" Jack shouted at her. "He looks nice, Jack." "Nice? Watch out for his horns, Annie." "No, he's nice, Jack." "Nice?" But the Triceratops just gazed calmly down at Annie. Then he turned and looped away, down the side of the hill. "Bye," said Annie. She turned back to Jack. "See?" Jack grunted, but he wrote in his notebook, "Nice." "Come on, let's look around some more," said Annie. As Jack started after Annie, he saw something glittering in the tall grass. He reached out and picked it up. A medallion. A gold medallion. This is that medallion. What's on that medallion? What do you notice about it? I feel like this gold medallion is in some way going to be important. A letter was engraved in the medallion, on the medallion. A fancy M. "Oh man, someone came here before us," Jack said softly. I wonder who came here before them. Who do you think? What do you think? Do you think anybody came here before them? Chapter 6, Dinosaur Valley. "Annie, look at this," Jack called. "Look what I found." Annie had gone up to the hilltop. She was busy picking a flower from the magnolia tree. "Annie, look! A medallion!" But Annie wasn't paying attention to Jack. She was staring at something on the other side of the hill. "Oh, wow!" she said. "Annie!" Clutching her magnolia flower, she took off down the hill. "Annie, come back!" Jack shouted, but Annie had disappeared. "I'm going to get her," Jack muttered. He stuffed the gold medallion into his jeans pocket. Then he heard Annie shriek, "Annie!" Jack heard another sound as well, a deep bellowing sound, like a tuba. "Jack, come here!" Annie called. "Annie!" Jack grabbed his backpack and raced up the hill. When he got to the top, he gasped. The valley below was filled with nests, big nests made out of mud, and the nests were filled with tiny dinosaurs. They're so cute. But where there's babies, there's always... Yep, a mama. Annie was crouching next to the one of the nest, and standing over her was a gigantic duck-billed dinosaur. "Don't panic! Don't move!" said Jack. He stepped slowly down the hill toward Annie. The huge dinosaur was towering above Annie, waving her arms, making her tuba sound. Jack stopped. He didn't want to get too close. He knelt on the ground. "Okay. Move toward me slowly," he said. So now Jack is kind of being the hero, right? So he's saving Annie from this really bad situation that she's in with this duck-billed dinosaur. Annie started to stand up. "Don't stand. Crawl," said Jack. Clutching her flower, Annie crawled toward Jack. The duck-billed dinosaur followed her, still bellowing. Annie froze. "Keep going," Jack said softly. Annie started crawling again. Jack inched farther down the hill until he was just an arm's distance from Annie. He reached out and grabbed her hand. He pulled Annie toward him. "Stay down," he said. He crouched next to her. "Bow your head. Pretend to chew." Why? Why would she be bowing her head pretending to chew? Let's see. Chew? Yes. I read that's what you do if a mean dog comes at you. "She's not a dog, Jack," said Annie. "Just chew," said Jack. Jack and Annie both bowed their heads and pretended to chew. Soon the dinosaur grew quiet. Jack raised his head. "I don't think she's mad anymore," he said. "Thanks, Jack, for saving me," said Annie. "You have to use your brain," said Jack. "You can't just go running to a nest of babies. There's always a mother nearby." Annie stood up. "Annie!" Too late. Annie held out her magnolia flower to the dinosaur. "I'm sorry I made you worry about your babies," she said. The dinosaur moved closer to Annie. She grabbed the flower from her. She reached for another. "No more," said Annie. The dinosaur let out a sad tuba sound. "But there are more flowers up there," Annie said. She pointed to the top of the hill. "I'll get you some." Annie hurried up the hill. The dinosaur waddled after her. Jack quickly examined the babies. Some were crawling out of their nests. Where were the other mothers? Jack took out the dinosaur book. He flipped through the pages. He found a picture of some duck-billed dinosaurs. He read the caption. We read captions, so that's pretty cool that he was reading a caption because we just got done with that unit. The Ankylosaurus lived in colonies. While a few mothers babysat the nest, others hunted for food. So there must be more mothers close by. "Hey, Jack!" Annie called. Jack looked up. Annie was at the top of the hill feeding magnolia flowers to the giant Ankylosaurus. "She's nice too, Jack," Annie said. But suddenly, the Ankylosaurus made her terrible tuba sound. Annie crouched down and started to chew. The dinosaur barged down the hill. So she made that terrible tuba sound again, and then she took off down the hill. I wonder why. Annie did the right thing, though, again, that Jack kind of taught her to do. She seemed afraid of something. Jack put the book down on top of his pack. He hurried up to Annie. "I wonder why she ran away," said Annie. "We were starting to be friends." Jack looked around. What he saw in the distance almost made him throw up. An enormous, ugly monster was coming across the plain. He was walking on 2 big legs and swinging a long, thick tail and dangling 2 tiny arms. He had a huge head and his jaws were open wide. What in the world is that kind of dinosaur? It gave us some clues. It says that he was an ugly monster. He had 2 big legs and a swinging long, thick tail, and he had 2 dangling tiny arms. He had a huge head and his jaws were wide open. Let's see. Even from far away, Jack could see his long, gleaming teeth. "Tyrannosaurus Rex!" whispered Jack. Holy moly. I don't think that they're ready for a Tyrannosaurus Rex, do you? I want you to think about, what in the world do you think they're going to do? Why do you think that? Until next time, I'll see you later.